Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a 3-panel transition. So I'm going to start off by disabling resample on all 3 of my clips. And as you can see, I have them one stacked on top of the other and, placed at where obviously your beats of the song will be. Okay, so we're going to start off by opening Event Pan Crop on our first video, ticking mask, and using the rectangle masking tool, I'm going to create a small box that will be our first panel. And I'm going to tick our grid overlay just to get a better idea of how big I want it to be. And this is about the size I chose, so it's 4 boxes and a little bit on the corners. So that's our first frame done. And I'm going to move it a bit to the side so that it's covering that black edge. The first one's done. Now we can copy and paste that little square mask onto our second clip as well. And we're going to position it after our first clip, leaving a bit of black border. Now I'm going to go to our third clip and paste the same effects there as well. And as you can see, our frame is a little bit wonky, so I'm going to move that a little bit and reposition our rectangle box. Now I'm going to move it back to about here. I'm just going to mute this third track just so it doesn't distract us, because for now we're going to be working on our first 2 panels. So I'm going to insert an adjustment track, and this is a new feature, I think. I don't think other Vegas versions had it, at least not that I know of. So you're going to need Vegas Pro 19 for this tutorial. I'm going to make both my first and second panel the child compositing track of this adjustment track. Then I'm going to go to the beginning, grab S Blumrow curves, and I'm going to apply it to our adjustment track. I'm going to animate Shift X. So our first keyframe is going to be 0. Then I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to set it to minus 0.276. And we're going to set both of the keyframes to smooth. Now, if I just scrub through the timeline real quick, that's the movement that we're getting. Okay, now I'm going to apply the first effect to our first panel. So also using Blurmo curves, I'm going to drag it onto the first clip, and I'm going to animate the Shift Y. So it's going to be sliding down. And since 0.500 is not enough because it's still in frame, I'm going to set it to 1000. I'm going to set that first keyframe to fast, move forward about 5 or 6 keyframes, and then set that second keyframe to 0.080. Set it to fast. I like to move forward at least 2 times that, and then set it to 0. But honestly, you can set this last keyframe wherever you want. I like to have that sliding downwards movement to last for most of the panel transition, so it's really up to you. Now I'm going to work on our second clip, and our second clip is going to have a flip transition, so we're going to need S-warp transformation. We're going to animate the swivel, and we're going to set the first keyframe to minus 90 so that it slowly appears in. Again, move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 keyframes. Then set your second keyframe to minus 30 and fast. Then move forward about, say, 20 keyframes. And then set it to 0 and slow. Now, when we play that through real quick, our perspective is a bit warped. So I'm going to pull down the perspective amount. So as you can see, tiny bit of flip, and I'm going to enable motion blur, just add a little bit of blur to the clip. And one last thing, I'm going to put wrap Y to reflect so that we don't have any black borders. Now I'm going to play that through real quick again. So yeah, that's what the flip-in looks like. And now we're going to work on that third clip that we kept muted earlier. So we're going to unmute it, and I'm going to place a new adjustment track on top of it. So I'm going to make this the child compositing track, and I'm going to apply S-Bloma curves to this new adjustment track. So just drag it in. I'm going to set the first Shift X, animate it, and set it to 0.480. Okay, then I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to set it to 0.198. Okay, so set both of these keyframes to smooth. Now we're going to work on our third panel because we need to fix that border. It's not in the right place, obviously. So we're going to apply S-Bloma curves, as you can see here, and I'm going to change the Shift X to see where it lines up best. Okay, and I settled for minus 0.045. So let's play this through real quick to make sure that all the borders are the same thickness. Lastly, we're going to apply S-Bloma curves again, and we're going to animate the Shift Y, and this time we're going to do minus 1000. Then we're going to animate it. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keyframes ahead. Put that second keyframe at 0.80. And now we're going to set these first 2 keyframes to fast. Now go towards the end and set it to 0. And slow. And yeah, there you have it. A very pretty panel slide and flip transition. I hadn't seen any tutorials for it with Vegas, so I just wanted to make this little quick one. I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye bye.